Hey everybody, it's Legal Beagle from Legal Beagle Panda Creations. And I know the title's a little like, from page to cut file. What does that mean? Well, if you've ever really you're looking through books or card maker books or magazines and you see a recipe and you're like, oh, I really want to try that, whether it's a fold card, some kind of special design, or you've got to cut 3 inches this way and score 2 inches that way, and you make the card base and you're like, oh, I really, really like that card. And then you go, oh, if I want to do another one, I got to do all that measuring and cutting again. Well, remember, you can use your Silhouette Studio to take some of those instructions, recipes, however you want to call them, and transfer them into a cut file using your Silhouette Studio software. So I figured this video I would show you how I made a slider card coming out of one of the card maker magazines, so that I have it so that whenever I want to make that card for someone, for a birthday, for a graduation, for whatever, I could do it. So the card you saw right before this was a graduation card I made for my nephew using the sliding mechanism that I found in the Card Maker magazine. So let's get started showing how to turn that instructions from page into a cut file. And I placed all my pieces. They wound up being able to be placed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that they'd cut out on. And here you can see this is the slider base, this is the slider pull, and this is going to be the piece that goes on top where you saw my little graduate bear sitting on that gets pulled up. So let's go to a blank sheet on here and get started constructing this. Okay, here we are on our blank sheet. We're going to come here and make 3 different boxes. So just go ahead and draw 3 different boxes, however you want to draw them. Doesn't really matter. And I don't know why I keep hitting my cap lock. Sorry about that. Now that we've done that, we're going to resize our boxes to the appropriate sizes that we need. So we're going to come over here to our resize button, and you're going to make one box 6 by 4.5, another box 4.5 by 3, and another box 6 by 3 inches. And so let me show you from this first box. I'm going to take this and make the width 6 and make the height 4.5. You can click apply or just hit the enter button on your keyboard, and now you have your first box. So just go ahead and make your other 2 boxes the sizes that they need to be. Okay, now that we've got all of our boxes sized correctly, we need to make some lines. So I want to make some straight lines, so we're going to depress our shift key and we're going to pull straight down, and we're going to just make 2 different lines, and then we're going to copy and paste. So come back up and click your pointer. One of these lines is going to be we want at 3 inches high. Click apply. And the other one we're going to want at 4.5 inches high, and we're going to click apply. Okay, now we're going to need 3 of the 3-inch ones, so we're just going to go copy and paste and paste. And then for our 4.5-inch line, we're going to need 2 of those. So I'm going to select that line, and I'm going to go copy and paste. And so now we have all the lines that we need to put in the appropriate places. Okay guys, first off, I forgot we're actually going to need 4 3-inch lines, so I went ahead and made another line. So now what we want to do is start lining up our pieces. And I'm going to select this box right here, and I'm going to come up and select our move button. And I'm going to want to move that box, the corner of it, 1 inch to 1 inch. Now I already gave you the diameter of this box right here because we know we made a 3 by 4.5 inch box. And what the instructions call for is for it to be 3/4 of an inch down from the top and 1 inch over from the right. So I'm going to go ahead and select, I want to move this box to 2 inches by 1.75 inches. And what that's going to do is give me my 3/4 of an inch from the top, my inch over, And then I did all the other math, so it gives you a 1/2 inch clearance on this side and 3/4 of an inch down there. And now you have your middle piece for your box. Okay, now you have this box in the middle. What you're going to want to do is select that box, come up to your cut lines, and select no cut for that box. And I know you're saying to yourself, why are we selecting no cut? Because we're going to take these other lines that we've made and they're going to make up the line so that we can tell it specifically what we wanted it to cut, but I just wanted to make sure that I got the size correct. So we're going to take the other lines that we have and we're now going to line them up along against this 3 by 4.5 inch box to get the appropriate cut lines. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to move 2 of our 3-inch lines into this box. Okay, and then I'm going to zoom in so I can show you what I'm going to do. All right, we're going to take this line and we're going to line it up right over the edge of this line right here. Okay, then we're going to take this line, select it, and we're going to change that line into a perforated line because that's going to be almost like a score line. So just go there and you're going to eyeball it. You're going to do the same for these 2 4.5 inch lines. You're going to turn them on their sides and line them up. You're going to leave them as straight line cuts because we only want this edge for right now to be perforated. Okay, go ahead and move your last line down and line it up. Once you've done that, you want to group that inner box pieces all together. You're going to take your third 3-inch line, select it, make it a perforated line because we're going to want to fold at that piece. Go ahead and select that inner box, go to your Align button, and hit Center. It's going to move your perforated line into the center of that box. Now there's only one last thing that we need to do with this box, and that's make a little notch. To make your notch, you're going to need a circle piece. Now, if you have a notch punch, you don't need to do this. Just use your notch punch at the spot that you want to do it. But you're going to take your circle piece. You can either center it to the middle if you want to. So then you would do it with this box and this box, and again, go to your Align, and then go to vertically to the middle, and it's going to move your piece up to the middle. Once you want that piece overlapping that box, you're going to come up to your Modify button, and then you're going to select that piece as well as your outside box and click Subtract. And what that does is that any piece that's overlapping, it's going to subtract that piece out. And so now you have a little notch piece and this box is complete. Now let's work on our slider pull. And there's only one thing that we have to do with that, and that's take our last 3-inch line, flip it on its side, and put it a 1/2 inch down from the top of the lengthwise. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, there is one last thing I want to do with this big box, and that's group the whole thing together. So now it's all just one piece. Move it wherever you want to put it on the page. It's not going to move. All your appropriate lines and cuts are there. If you go to your cut line, you're going to see perforated lines, and then it's going to cut around there, and that's exactly what you want it to do. So let's get out of this cut style line and go back to our long pulley piece. So we're going to line this up at the 1/2 inch mark. That's where you want it to be, and we're also going to make that line, we're going to change it to be a perforated line as well. Now, if you want to make sure that that's where it's supposed to be, You can then again go to your move window, and you know you're going to place that at 1.5, which is where it is. So he placed it on the line correctly because remember, this started at 1, so we only needed to go a 1/2 inch down. So now your slider piece, your slider base, and your slider pull are complete. Okay, make sure that once you finish put that score line in place, that you go ahead and group those two pieces together so that those are now combined. The last box that you need to make for this slider part assembly is a box that's 4 by 5.5. So let's just go ahead. As you can tell, I did not take off my perforations. So let's make that a solid. Whoops. This is what happens when you don't turn off your box shape. Okay, so let's go ahead and make that a solid box. And then we're going to come up to our resize button because we're going to want to make this 5.5 by 4. And that's just the piece that's going to go over the top. Once you're putting this all together, it's going to sit right on top, but it's going to sit below that little pulley. Okay, guys, so we've completed all the components for the sliding mechanism. Remember, you're going to need a card base that's 6 by 4.5 inches that this is going to sit on top of. Saturday's video, I'm doing a bonus video, is going to show you how you actually put this card together. The recipe for this actual card I got out of the Card Maker magazine, the summer 2013 edition, on page 29. They did a card that was entitled Happiness, so check that out for the actual recipe, but I will do a video that'll be posted by this weekend that will show you how you put these pieces of this slider card together. If you have any questions, just remember to leave a comment down at the bottom. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching and happy crafting.